And we're live.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 31 of Kids Deserve It. We know it's been a few weeks since we've done a show. I've been traveling, Todd's been traveling, so we wanted to kind of put it on hold. But we have a great guest today. We hope you've been enjoying our weekly chats with educators from around the country. Don't forget, you can check us out on iTunes, and also check the hashtag out and put it on your tweet deck because it is busy all day long with Kids Deserve It.
And thank you so much for everybody who has gone out and bought the Kids Deserve It book on Amazon. We love seeing all the conversation that's been happening on Twitter. The hashtag is just blowing up. And don't forget, if you buy the paperback version of Kids Deserve It on Amazon, the Kindle version jumps down to $2.99. So if you're waiting for your paperback to come in, you can get the Kindle version for just $2.99 while you wait.
Awesome. This week we've got another great guest, but first we want to introduce ourselves. I am Adam Welcome, Director of Innovation and Technology in the Bay Area of California.
And I am Todd Nesloni, Elementary Principal in Navasota, Texas.
And Lynn.
Hi, I'm Lynn Cologne. I'm a principal in Northern Virginia, K through 5.
Awesome. Well, we also want to remind our viewers to participate on social media as we go through and do the chat. We love seeing all what you're learning using the hashtag KidsDeserveIt.
So Lynn, we have a few questions for you. So for those who don't know about you, tell us about yourself.
Okay, so I was born and raised in Puerto Rico and came here 13 years ago. Started my career as a social worker and then transitioned into education. I'm currently leading a school of 1,020. We closed with that, but we're scheduled to have 1,048 students next year, grades K through 5th. We have a couple of self-contained classes, and I'm loving every minute. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else.
Love it. So what are some innovative programs, Lynn, that you've implemented at your school for kids?
So we have a lot. Adam had the pleasure, I should say, of coming and visiting our school. And again, it's not about devices, but it's about all these inclusive practices. We have 3D printing for all kids. We have the Spheros. Computer lab is part of what we do as our rotation. So all kids are exposed to that. There's just so much. We have coding going on. We have robotics. We have STEM practices in the classrooms. So again, it's not something that we do in isolation. I truly believe in exposing all kids, and being a mommy of a child with a disability, I'm all about integrating our special needs students into the innovative practices we have.
So I was lucky enough to visit your school, Lynn, and just talk about like how you got there, because you've been there for a couple of years now, and all those things weren't happening. And I think a lot of questions that Todd and I get, like, where do I start? Like, what are some entry points? And just like, what's some recommendations you can give people just to kind of get on the path to where you are now?
I would say not being afraid. I mean, if you know a little bit about our school, when I got there, we were a school of improvement and we just got out. So there's a lot to celebrate. And there was some pushback, right? Because the mission, and I was charged to get the school out of school of improvement, right? So a lot of people questioned, okay, how are you going to incorporate the Spheros? How are you going to incorporate the 3D printer? How is that going to get you guys out of school of improvement? But then again, we couldn't forget that kids are supposed to have fun too. And kids don't learn from people they don't like, and they don't want to come back to places they don't feel like they're having fun. So it was really important to have that balance where they were looking forward to the magical moments every day, like I would say, and then at the same time incorporating the standards, right? Because we could never forget that we're teaching the standards,
Right.
but that didn't mean that it had to be textbook driven.
Right.
So a lot has been being vulnerable about, we have an issue, but we also are running a school where kids should come back every day excited about learning. Being connected helped a lot because I learned from other people. And then again, we don't have an attendance problem because our kids come back every day, and it's sending the message, okay, why? Is it because of the textbook or the experiences that they're having?
So Todd will appreciate this. I don't know if Todd knows. What do you refer your school as? You call it something that I know.
I call it my Disney. Uh, you know,
She said, "This is
I love that.
Disneyland."
We talked about that, Lynn. I remember
Oh,
that.
did you? Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So,
it is.
so
It
what's
is.
one of your favorite things to do as principal, Lynn?
There's so many things. Let me think. I I can't pick. I mean, I feel so blessed every day, right? When I wake up and I show it up at my office. You saw my mobile cart. Uh, to be able to make a difference, but I think it's connecting with the kids and talking to them about the things that they like. Uh, the education that they're receiving at my school is certainly not what I received when I was growing up. Puerto Rico is totally different. So to be able to have conversations with them about what they want and being in control of providing that them with that experience, it I mean, I feel fortunate.
Yeah. Well, you brought it up. So, what was school like for you growing up? What do you remember about school?
It was, there's a lot of poverty in Puerto Rico. It's a beautiful place, but the school system is struggling. We were all free and reduced. Uniforms, rows, chalkboards, not computers. So, I mean, to be able to play with Spheros is like the super coolest thing. Um, ever. It was rough. It was rough. There were
Right.
no extracurricular activities. I was focused in getting out of the school system there and doing, you know, better things. So yeah, to be able to have the smart boards and all these things here is such a blessing.
Right.
So it just hit me. I think you're probably the only person in the world that has a Kids Deserve It book that is signed by me and Todd. Is that right? Because I know I
I
mailed you a signed copy. Did Todd sign yours at NASP?
he did. See?
Whoa, Lynn Cologne.
Hey, and
It's
I
he
almost signed
does.
it on top of you, Adam. I told Lynn when
Oh,
she gave me, I was like, I'm going to sign it on top of what Adam wrote, but I didn't. I wrote it on the side.
oh, wow.
See, you gave me the magical experience. That's what I'm talking about.
Awesome. So, Lynn, if you had one wish, what do you wish happened more in education with our kids?
That we have more people that believed. That's why I get to do what I do because someone believed in me. And I've had a lot of people laugh about, my vision for leading the whole Disney World. You will not believe. They think I'm joking, but it's true. Right? You gotta believe in kids, and if you think about this Disney mentality, you go to Disney and there's people with disabilities from different countries. They speak different languages, and still they leave happy about the experience that they received. So it would be my wish that people would come to schools or people in education would just believe in kids and would go in every day wanting to deliver the magic.
Hmm.
I love that.
Nice.
So, Lynn, when you're having one of those rough days where it's like you don't even want to get out of bed, you don't even want to go to work, what kind of things do you do to to get yourself in gear and ready to attack the day?
I have a lot of pictures saved in my phone with good things that are happening at my school. And you guys, I mean, I'm new in this, but I just look at the pictures of the things that you know are valuable, the things that are good for kids. My little cart where I literally ride around the school. That's what moves me. That's what again why I wake up every single day doing that for kids.
I always like to say when you go to a school and you walk into a classroom and the principal walks in and the kids kind of go, you know that the principal's never like visible. When I was at Lynn's school, we went to like every classroom and the kids are like Mrs. Cologne, giving hugs, high fives, singing, dancing, talking about cooking with students. It's just that visibility piece is Lynn is something I definitely admire about you and your work as a leader and just being there out front
Thank you.
is so awesome. So, but we want to know who is someone that inspires or challenges you to be better. You talked about being connected a little bit, but who's somebody out there that does that for you?
Huh. There's many people, but I'm gonna be really honest with you. I have twins, and there's one of them that has autism, and I'm trying not to choke, but that's that's why I do this. You know, there's so many people that make excuses for why kids can make progress, and when I see that little face, I said, I'm going out there to be an advocate
Right.
for kids, and never forgetting that every kid has a potential. So she's counting on me, and I can't let her down.
I love that. That's so
Nice.
powerful.
Very nice.
Well, Lynn, every week we like to end our show with having our guests leave a challenge for the viewers for this week. So what's your challenge for our viewers for this week?
You know, uh, I thought about that, and I'm scheduled to go to the pools of the communities that I serve because I don't want kids to see school as something they do in the fall. So I'm going to be reading at the pool. So I was thinking
Really?
that I could challenge people to connect with one of their students or visit one of the closest parks to where they teach at or work at, or the pool. Because, see, that's where the talk happens, right? They're trying to figure out what we have prepared for the fall. So I'm going to be there in the upcoming weeks, connecting with the kids and letting them know that they should be reading, and I'm going to be reading for them.
Nice.
I love that. That's so easy to do too, but with something we don't often do. I think that's a
Yeah,
great one.
So easy.
I
Lynn,
I invited myself.
that's awesome. Get out there. Todd does that. He goes and cooks and barbecues at around in his community, right? It's
Mhm.
that's great.
Yeah, and
So
if they have any questions, they can ask you. They don't have to,
Exactly.
Um,
well, Lynn, we want to thank you. You know, personally, we've both met you in person, which is kind of rare sometimes for our guests. Some of our guests we've never met. You know, and you just spent a week with Todd, and I took a long Uber ride. I'm so glad I did to visit your school in Virginia, and just knowing that there's people out there like you and doing what's best for kids on a daily basis is I know it motivates me in my work, and I'm sure I speak for Todd, you know, the same. So just getting after it. So thank you everyone for watching the show. Remember to tweet us at KidsDeserveIt or hashtag KidsDeserveIt. Next week, our guest is Brent Clarkson, 5:30 on Sunday afternoon. So hope everybody has a
5:30 Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 Central Standard Time.
EST. Thank you everyone for listening along.